Hello crafty friends, this is Rachel, Crafty Mama Bear. On today's video I will be sharing with you my thoughts and recommendations for the new Lango Acrylic Marker Pro series. So currently, as of July 2026, these are the only 3 individual packages for colors that I have seen available. Now, they do offer larger sets in a 48, a 72, a 96, and 192 that come in black carrying cases. I wanted to just see if the claims that they are stating in the marketing are correct before I went in and took the plunge and got the full line. So yeah, to start off, I wasn't super impressed. I wasn't impressed at all. If you want to save yourself some time and you just want to know, my quick answer is no, I don't recommend you going out and getting the Pro line if you already have the original set of markers. Now, I'm sure eventually all of their markers are going to transition to this, and these will probably end up phasing out, and in that case you won't have an option. But I will show you some samples and explain to you why I personally wouldn't recommend that you run out and grab these to replace the originals. So let's get started with the dark skin, because this was the most impressive as far as swatching goes and coverage. So I'm gonna zoom in real quick. Okay, so the original set right here is called the M720. This is the M730, and right off the bat I do like the addition of the colors on the entire cap with the new ones. Before, it was just the little round little thing with the number information for the pin. So I do appreciate that the whole cap is colored on those, and as you can see, all of the colors, maybe you can see, hopefully, all of the numbers are the same. So for dark skin, we have DS181 all the way to DS189. Okay. Now, as far as swatching goes, here are the swatches. And I'm going to block out this, because this is one swipe across with the original. This is one swipe across with the new. And just immediately, I'm sure you can see, these are a lot more vibrant off of the black cardstock. I would agree with that. However, these are not, this and the other 2 sets are not going to give you the same color as the original, because all they've done is gone in and added more white to these colors in order for them to be more opaque. Now, the marketing that they have for this says that it's an ink upgrade, and that it's, let me look, I believe it says it's 60%. Yeah, 60% boost in color overlay ability. I don't agree with that. I think that's a little misleading, because you're not getting the same colors. I would have to redo my swatches if I went ahead and replaced all of my M720s with the new Pro line markers, because they're just not the same. So yes, they're just adding more white to it, and you'll be able to see that better when you look over here. And this is where I added a second coat of the original M720s, and you can really start seeing the difference. I'd say right about here on the DS186, you can see how much lighter that is compared to that color. And as you go down, you can just see all the extra white that they added, and it's not the true color. So if you're wanting the dark skin, you need to stick with the original, because you're not getting as dark of skin tones and shades in this one because of all the extra white that they're adding. So I don't think it's worth it. Add an extra coat if you really need the added coverage. Now, I did these swatches on black because I thought that was going to give me the most accurate outcome as far as which one does have the best coverage. And if you're going with initial laydown, yes, this one does have better coverage. The colors aren't true to what the original set is, but yes, the coverage is better. By adding an extra color on a dark background, you're going to get better colors overall. I hope that makes sense. However, on white, these dark skin work great. On a white paper, very seldomly will I have to go for a second layer, especially on these darker three at the bottom. So there are my thoughts on the dark skin. Let's look at the light color series, and here are the swatches for this. And as we get into these lighter shades, I think it really shows just how washed out the M731s are. I think it really shows how washed out the colors are and how much white they're adding to these colors in order to make them 60% boost in the overall laydown cover. Okay, so here is a second coat, and I mean, I don't know if it's showing it on camera, but in person I can absolutely see a difference in these colors and these colors. So many of these, I can hardly tell there's any pigment in them. Like this one, it looks very white, and I don't see any of this green color in it at all. Same here. I don't see any of the blue tint. I don't see any of the purple for this one. And down here, these two look practically the same. So we're losing the actual color in these new ones because they're adding so much white. There's that. Let's go to our color of skin. And here are the swatches for this. Again, one swipe with the Pro, one swipe with the original, and then two swipes, or sorry, two coats with the original. And yeah, again, they're just adding more white to it. You can really see it on these lighter shades, because this almost looks white, not like a very pale pink. And these look almost identical. This, you can see it's way more white than this 506. Yeah. Alrighty, and then I wanted to see how the lighter ones, so how the original light skin and light color sorry, let me put this right. Okay, light color and colorful skin. I wanted to see how these worked if I do what I normally do on my pages, which is if I know that I have a super light color that's not going to have a lot of coverage and it's going to take multiple layers of me putting the color on in order to cover the lines on my color by numbers, I will go and add white. So I get packs of the Guangna white acrylic marker because I found that the Guangna is the best as far as coverage goes, and I can get them in larger, like 10 or 12 packs on like Temu or AliExpress. So here are the colors if I do one layer of white and then one layer of the color on them. So if you're not wanting to waste a lot of your marker colors, that's my number one tip, is put white on all of the sections that you know you're going to have a lighter color on to help cover all of the line work. And this is going to be my recommendation. I do not recommend that you run out and get the Pro line. I hope that they will continue to always have these available because, again, the colors aren't true and you will have to redo all of your swatches if you already have these. So, and as far as price goes, I looked on AliExpress and I found that the cheapest price for the original 9 packs was about $4.88 per pack. With the Languo Pro, the lowest price that I saw if you were buying just the individual packages was $6.89. And they are also selling these 3 individual sets in bundles where you can either get 2 of them together or all 3 of them together. And all of 3 of them together is the lowest price that I saw was $18.61. And of course, those prices are going to fluctuate. There's always going to be ones that are more expensive. So if you are searching for these on AliExpress or Temu or Shein, whatever, make sure to just go through the listing because you will find them cheaper and more expensive. Like, so these, the cheapest that I found them was $4.88. However, I saw them up to like $9. And these, the cheapest I found it was $6.89, but at the highest I found them was like $11+ per package. So yes, if you have absolutely no Languo acrylic markers, I'm going to recommend that you just get the original ones. And I don't know, this is how acrylic works. I mean, you're going to have to add layers. It's just the way that they are. And if that bothers you, then I don't think the acrylic is the way that you should go. If it bothers you that you have to put lots of coats of certain colors, then maybe using acrylics for your color by numbers are not the way that you need to go, because it's just the way that acrylic is. And the best example I can give is if you're painting a room, and let's say you're painting over a light color and you're wanting to go over it with white, you have to go over that when you're painting twice, sometimes 3 times in little spots to touch up. It's just the way that acrylic paint is. So I am not impressed with the newest Languo Pro markers. I appreciate the packaging. I think the packaging is much more appealing, and I like that the cap colors are different than on here. As far as like the barrel and holding the pen, I don't necessarily feel a big difference. They still kept this I mean, it is a fatter pen, so I guess it does feel a bit more comfortable. They do have this silver writing where these are a little bit, I don't know, I guess these look more clean, more, yeah, these look a little bit cheaper with the silver writing on there, in my opinion. And then they have, like, this is a selling point for them, and I don't understand it. The little roller balls on the bottom. I don't know any of us that are sitting around just like rolling our pens or using it as like a sensory thing, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't understand why they market that so highly and why they think it's just an amazing selling point for their pens. But anyways, so those are my thoughts on the new Languo acrylic markers. Let me know if you've tried these, if your thoughts differ from mine, or if I have helped you in determining whether or not you're going to purchase one or either one of these. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye-bye.